win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
Checks the feed, and the Phoenix are having a really good couple of minutes. Adams for three. Got it. That's a really good start.
Jordy says, I'll get 3 of these. We got a battle.
Adams for a triple. Got it. He's been good. He's been really good. Nice pass for Malik Lewis, who's left wide open. Adams relocates to the corner. Cans the triple. Looks it down. On fire. Adams over the three-point line. Here come the Phoenix again.
Oh my God, it's a barrage. It's an avalanche. It's a typhoon.
Plenty of firepower as Saturday Night Hoots starts up. It is a double header this evening. Brisbane and southeast Melbourne into Perth and Illawarra as the Hungry Jacks NBL marks Indigenous round and plenty of stars on show. Jalen Adams last time here almost dragged them to victory. Casey Prather's been red hot all season and a couple of former Bullets. Nathan Sobey back in his former venue as his Gorjok Gak and a couple of southeast Melbourne stars. Joel Peterson and Peter Hawley with you in commentary. Ariana Prather is courtside with us this evening. Pete, those two men both looking for a W again.
I'll tell you what, Joel, you nailed it. This will be a hoot. This is going to be great. I'm looking forward to this because the Bullets, the form, I know you look at the standings and it shows one thing, but they, outside of one game, haven't played that poorly. They've had patches in games where they get blown out, but that comeback win against the Breakers was exceptional. And the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix very quietly achieving really good things, and I don't think they're close to their full potential just yet.
They were huge in the second half against Sydney the other night. What about the form of this man recently? Had the game-winning sequence against New Zealand on Thursday, coming off his summer league opportunity in the off-season. Tyrell Harrison continues to go from strength to strength.
He had a couple of poor games before going over to Perth and really dismantling the Wildcats, but this is the Tyrell Harrison that is going to get that NBA chance if he keeps this up. Every single year steadily improves and shows that he's one of the best big men in the competition. And this right here is one of the best clutch defensive IQ plays I've ever seen. To be able to get up twice and time it like he did is exceptional, and the numbers speak for themselves. You look at that. The Brisbane Bullets are humming when Tyrell Harrison is rolling, and I hope they feed him early and just go with that.
They look a much better side when they get it into him, that is for sure, as they did in the second half against New Zealand on Thursday. The numbers are impressive, a double-double in each of his past 3 outings. Speaking of, Casey Prather was red hot last time out, second in the league in scoring, an equal career-high 12 rebounds last time out against New Zealand, and it's no longer a surprise when this man's doing good things.
No, it's not, and I keep saying it, I sound like a broken record, but he's at his most damaging best right now of his career. Yes, he's always been a freak athlete, he's always been an exceptional basketball player, but right now he is understanding of what his body's allowing him to do, and he is just dominant. 25 points per game, 49% from the field, and 7 rebounds to go with it, and finding some passes throughout to get some assists. It's just exceptional to watch. I think he's got the best jab step in the league as well. And every single time he's putting up 25 plus.
Yeah, he's got all the time in the world. This man was an interesting addition to the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix squad. Wes Iwundu, who comes in with a lot of NBA experience. He's bread's buttered on the defensive end, but he gave them a little bit on the offensive end against Sydney too.
Yeah, he's slowly getting more and more ready into this lineup. And I tell you what, Josh King said in that live chat with the boys on Thursday, how he's not quite in game shape. I think he's been in game shape on 9 other teams. He's just not in Josh King type game shape. The way they play defensively, their structure and all of that. So they'll continue to just add more minutes onto him, get him into the rotation, but he's a fun piece.
He is demanding, the Southeast Melbourne coach. We know that for sure. Let's go down and complete our broadcast team for this evening. The wonderful Ariana Prather is courtside. Evening, Ariana.
Hey, guys. I'm so excited for today's matchup, and I have a few X factors for you, starting off with the Brisbane Bullets. Alex Dukas is back in uniform, and he will be on the court tonight. This is the sharpshooter that the Brisbane Bullets have been waiting to get hot. If they get him going early on, find him some open looks, he is going to be key if they pull out the win tonight. And then for Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, we know Nathan Sobey is going to be excited to play against his former team in the Bullets, but look out for the youngster, Malik Lewis. He's been working on his 3-ball. He can knock it down from deep confidently, and he can also hold down the paint. He is going to be a huge X factor for Southeast today.
Thanks, Ariana. Looking forward to hearing from you more throughout the course of the evening. There is the Brisbane starting 5. So Jalen Adams is back in. That is the 6th different starting lineup that Stu Lash has used so far this season. They've had 10 players step into that starting lineup, have the Brisbane Bullets. On the other side of things, Southeast Melbourne, the same starting 5 in every game. Josh King's had the luxury of continuity.
Yeah, they obviously lead off the back of their locals. Nathan Sobey having a fantastic season. Owen Foxwell, you talk about improvement with Harrison. Owen Foxwell's arguably been the most improved player across the course of a 3-year stretch when you look at it. And I tell you what, John Brown against Casey Prather, that's a matchup I'm excited for, because John Brown has had some scalps. He kept Xavier Cooks quiet the other night. He is a nightmare defensively. I'll be locked into that one, and this should be a fun game. Josh
King was absolutely glowing about his impact on the game. Doesn't necessarily show up in the box score, everything that he does. But John Brown is going to be a terror for the Brisbane Bullets tonight. Underway in Brisbane, first of a Saturday night doubleheader in the Hungry Jacks NBL. The Bullets back at home to kick off a 3-game road stand. They've gone 3-3 on the road this season, but dropped both of their games at home. Southeast Melbourne 1-2 on the road so far this year. And an offensive foul to start things for the Bullets.
Talk about things not showing up on the stat sheets. Did you see the activity from John Brown on Casey Prather? He got super low to the ground, great defensive stance, kept his hands active, made Prather have to pass the ball. That right there is exactly why Josh King loves him.
He's got the size, he's got the agility and the wherewithal to go with Prather. This man was red hot on Thursday night. Geordie Hunter has been outstanding from beyond the arc. Sobey gambles on defense. Divas down the lane, not the first time, and they can't pull it down the second. Both teams in their Indigenous round jerseys. We celebrate that across round 6 and 7 in this NBL26 season. Nice take from Foxwell to get the scoring started.
Oh, it's just great. 2-man game with Geordie Hunter. Foxwell getting downhill. Exactly the start that he would want. He was exceptional on Thursday as well.
Got a nice connection, Foxwell and Hunter. Play well off each other. Davis is another who earned a lot of praise in the post-match. Stu Lash saying he's given us a really impressive point of attack defender as Harrison goes in on Hunter. Hunter might have got a piece of it. The rim certainly did.
Oh, I tell you what, I'd like to get another look at that, because I thought that Harrison just put it into the front of the rim. Geordie Hunter not complaining too much. There must have been some contact for sure. Oh, I tell you what.
It's a fresh airy from Geordie.
Oh, he might have got him with the body ever so slightly, because he didn't complain, but Harrison's just thrown that into the front of the rim. And the Brisbane Bullets, we talk about their form. I know losses count as losses, but they actually haven't been that poor. They're the best field goal percentage team in the competition, and they lead with points in the paint. Also the lowest three-point attempts of anyone in the league, which says a lot when you look at some of the poor shooting around the league.
Yeah, they struggle on the boards, but in middle of the road in most statistical categories. Sobey from way outside against his former club. He played 131 games in Bullets Blue. He's been stroking it all season. That shot's looking really good, Pete. 38% for Nathan Sobey from downtown so far this year.
Tyler Harrison just getting on the inside. He was very active. And that foul on John Brown. I think Josh King was worried it was going to be on Geordie Hunter, which would have been his second. And they are thin.
Adams drops it into Harrison, spinning on Hunter. Again, he made the move and just couldn't finish. Foxwell with the float game, left it short. Prather got a hand in on Brown, who was able to regather the rock and bank it home. And an early break for the Phoenix in enemy territory. Divas in the corner, can't hit.
Really, really aggressive, Tristan Davis.
Bullets yet to connect on a field goal, 0-4.
It's going to be back to Phoenix ball. And if you're on Foxwell, that pass, you've got to take a couple of dribbles down to the wing. and make that an easier inbound.
Sobey to inbound. Nearly 6-point break to the Phoenix. Nathan Sobey scooting through and scooping it home.
He's been terrific. And again, you think about when Josh King took over, it just seemed to be two peas in a pod on the same page. Josh King speaks so highly of him. That's going to be Phoenix ball. John Brown mentioned it off the top. He's a menace.
He is an absolute game wrecker defensively, John Brown. 2.3 steals, but that's only part of the story in terms of his switch ability, just the intensity that he plays with. Here's a Josh King player through and through. He cocks that one back and knocks it down. 12-1 out of the blocks here, the Phoenix. They have flown the gates in Brisbane, and we're only 3 minutes in.
Well, this is the problem with the Bullets. They find themselves in holes early and often. They have to fight so hard just to make a game of it. To their credit, they find a way to do it, but this is not the way they'd want to start on their home floor. And John Brown, he's not a known three-point shooter, but the Phoenix are the best three-point shooting team in the comp.
First three-pointer of the season for John Brown. So Southeast by 11, just over 3 minutes played in this one. Of course, injuries have riddled the Bullets season so far. Mitch Norton, their captain, is not out there, but he caught up with Ariana pre-game.
Well, I know your defense and team leadership is surely missed on the floor. Everyone's on the edge of their seat waiting for you to come back. Can you give us any type of insight? Weeks, months?
Yeah, hopefully a couple of weeks. We're kind of at the stage now where I'm back on the court doing some individuals and stuff like that. So it's kind of day by day right now, but probably a couple of weeks away from playing in a game.
It'll be great to see him back. Mitch Norton, he and Sam McDaniel both out at the moment. They have copped so many injuries over the start of this season, have the Brisbane Bullets. So they definitely don't have their full complement, Pete, and especially defensively in terms of guard. It's made things difficult for them.
And you can see exactly why they find themselves in holes early, right? They don't have a point of attack defender. It's normally Sam McDaniel who's out, and then Mitch Norton as well. Both of those guys they rely on heavily to spark a defensive energy that can be contagious throughout.
Ariana, what was the message from the Brisbane huddle?
Coach Lash was very calm when he was talking to his team and told them that they're good, we're okay. We missed a few freebies, a few layups. Just take our time and be calm on the defensive end. I think, as you guys said, they're used to getting down in the hole early on and then clawing their way back out, but this is not something that you want to get used to.
2 and 6 in opening quarters this season, the Brisbane Bullets. The two games that they've led at quarter time had won them both. Foxwell speeds up the other end. Harrison able to pull it down, and Lewis pinches it. Brown off the glass again.
A lot more aggressive than we see him on the offensive end. Lamar Patterson about to check in. I'm not sure why they took him out of the starting lineup. I think they need a bit more of that creation, especially against this defensive energy from Josh King's men.
Craver hits Brisbane's first field goal of the game. 1 of 5 the Bullets, with 4 turnovers in the early going. Snaps a 12-0 Southeast Melbourne run. Work it to the corner for Craver. Gets past Hunter, goes baseline, little runner won't fall. Lewis, the second-year next star, coming back the other way. Outside to John Brown again. That one was nothing but oxygen.
Phoenix are the best offensive rebounding team in the league, and they're showing right now because they are all over it. Their activity is exceptional.
Flying around everywhere at the moment. Another Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. They lead by 11 early going.
They also average a league high 9.7 steals per game. The Phoenix, that's no surprise under Josh King. Already got 2.
And they turn the ball over at the second lowest rate, so they force turnovers, but then don't give you many chances themselves as Adams knocks down the long 2.
This is where, for the Brisbane Bullets, with Geordie Hunter sitting down, they've got John Brown guarding Harrison. Put Harrison on the block, not where he has to dribble the ball, do too much with it, because John Brown will just swipe it. He's got the height advantage to really have his way with John Brown if he gets it where he wants it.
Wandu getting set to check into the game.
Here's the Amy replay. Jalen Adams. This is the Jalen Adams they want to see more of. Hunting his own shot. Being a playmaker, not just a passenger offensively, and another offensive rebound.
Have seen some of his best. Jalen Adams had 29 against Melbourne last time they were here at home as Patterson works his way inside. He was terrific against New Zealand. Lamar Patterson, 20 points, 10 of 14 from the field. Not often you see a player these days, Pete, have 20 points and just on 10 made twos. No made free throws, no made free threes for Patterson.
Another team offensive rebound. Look at the activity, every bloke, every player. Malik Lewis is great. This is interesting from Stu Lash. So the Phoenix has gone a little smaller. Stu Lash has got bigger.
Dukas, Adams, Smith, Milner, Patterson, Harrison out there for the Bullets. Glover, Alir, Maldonado, Iwandu and Lewis for Josh King in southeast Melbourne. Catch Alir on the move. And again, they get another offensive rebound. That's 6 in the game. Maldonado can't make them pay.
This is becoming a problem right now. We know that the Bullets are the worst rebounding team.
Lob to Harrison from Smith Milner. And Tyrell thumps it.
And I think that's why Stu Lash has gone big, because they are just getting beaten up. When that shot goes up from the Phoenix, 6 offensive rebounds already.
8-0 run here for the Bullets. Southeast haven't been able to take advantage of the opportunities they're getting on the offensive end. Adams is fouled moving to the cup. There's a nice little feed from Toy up to Tyrell Harrison.
2 shots here.
Jalen Adams, 14 points against New Zealand on Thursday, 29 against Melbourne on 10 of 15 shooting in their last home game. He's frustrated after missing the first free throw. Of course, dropped out of the starting lineup for disciplinary reasons in Perth, and they won by 17 over there. Misses the second lane violation, so we'll get another look at it.
Struggles at the free throw line. Normally just goes there and you can just pencil in 2 points. But I've liked the last 2 games from him. That's what they need until their new signing, Dakota Mathias, comes in.
Bullets have said he's going to play on Thursday against Cairns. A little bit more about what he might bring throughout the broadcast as Adams up and in on Maldonado, making life very tough.
That's fantastic effort there from Jalen Adams. And he's pumped up about it. We always talk about how nonchalant just his general character is, especially on the basketball floor. But have a look at this. Causes the turnover and loves it. I like that his teammates got around him as well, because that's exactly what they need more of. It's Casey Prather gets the and one, and the Bullets are back in it.
And the Brisbane Entertainment Centre has come alive. 11-0 run for Brisbane. Casey Prather can pull the margin back to 1 as he steps to the line. It was 13 when Stu Lash called for time. The score was 14-1.
Josh King took out everyone who's scored in this game so far. Sobey, Foxwell and Brown. Just took his squad who are on the floor at 0 of 7.
Maldonado to the wing. Iwandu. Lewis puts it on the floor. Push on Patterson.
love Malik Lewis's growth. He's got that size, he's got the athleticism, really takes so much pride on the defensive end. So he makes his money, but just continuously tries to add to his offensive game. Second year as a next star, it's all about, again, the player he was when he came in, as that's good hands from Casey Prater, the player that he was when he came in last year to the player he will be at the end of this season. How much improvement have the NBA eyes seen? Because that's what it's all about. It's not about the numbers, it's not about the highlights, it's about how much you can improve in a great league in just 2 years, because the potential's there.
Here's the three ball, and that is very nice indeed from Malik Lewis. And that will have NBA eyes lighting up the world over.
It always feels good to hype someone up and go and knock one down. As Prater doing what he does best.
Plus 84 on the season so far is Malik Lewis. That's only going to continue to grow with three balls like that.
Stepped in it super confidently and then gets whistled for a foul here. Josh King didn't like it because they're in the bonus. So this is something that Josh King we see, right? That full court pressure, whether it's a make or a miss, he's screaming for everybody to make the inbounds pass difficult.
Told you so type of person, but I did have Malik Lewis as my X factor before the game, and the reason why is because I saw that fire in his eyes when he was the last person to leave the court during warm-ups earlier. He was working on that three ball all afternoon, and you see it paying off right now, guys. But I have a question. If you're the Bullets, do you stay with the big lineup because the rebounding battle has been so bad, or do you go to your smaller lineup and push the tempo?
I think right now they've got to make sure that the Phoenix don't get second chance opportunities as Hunter misses that one because it was really killing them early. They have not given up an O-board in the last 3 or 4 minutes. That's why they're back in this game.
Patterson trying to break Hunter down. Divas, Smith-Milner outside. Almost left the ground. Dukas comes curling off the screen.
Divas has been so active to start this game. Just a young fella taking his opportunities this season through injuries, through imports going home. Stu Lash turned to him and said, hey, this is now your chance. Well ahead of the time he expected, and he has been exceptional. You just love to see it. We've seen Sean McDonald do it. There's always 1 or 2 a year who get that extra opportunity and never look back.
He's gone back to being a development player from a rostered sense, but replacing Mitch Norton, and isn't he doing a great job? Tristan Divas. So much intensity that he's brought to this team. Stu Lash is loving what he's doing. Sobey misses. Underneath, fight for the rebound. Brown pulls it down, chucks it into Sobey in traffic, and he's fouled. 2-point game. Minute 13 remaining in this opening frame.
Another offensive rebound. Geordie Hunter. 8 offensive rebounds in this game so far.
Brown's got 7, Lewis has 6 for the Phoenix. Prather's got 6 for Brisbane. 4 other Bullets with 3 points thus far. And here is Nathan Sobey, who misses the first free throw. He was a polarising player in his first, well, his 5 seasons with Brisbane. Made it to an All-NBL first team. The joint was on fire half the time around him, which didn't help a lot. He cans the second free throw. He's playing some really good basketball at the moment for this South East Melbourne squad, Pete.
I mean, he's their go-to guy. Their leading playmaker, their leading scorer.
Josh King said he was underrated after Thursday night. Do you agree?
Absolutely. I think we've seen Nathan Sobey throughout the years. Leonardo misses that one. We've seen him at times, he can be a little loose with it. But how he's playing right now, he played on Thursday night.
You'd be in the conversation for a first-team spot. He misses the 3-ball.
Another O-board.
Time it's Foster who pulls it down and loses it under the pressure inside. Hanging and hitting, impressive stuff. Gee, hasn't Tane Murray brought a lot to this team? 1-point game, time winding down in this opening term. Half a second shot to game clock. Sobey guarded by Patterson. Waves off the screen from Hunter. Fumbles and gathers and can't hit, but it's tipped home right on the quarter time buzzer. As Sobey runs into Murray as time expires. There's no extracurriculars at quarter time. And it is the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix 23 leading Brisbane 20 at the end of one.
You got a signed Bullets ball. And you get a choice, blue or black. Who wants what? You can have a black hat. And you get the blue hat. Prize here. Thanks for noise, Bullets fans!
Ladies and gentlemen, it might have been a little bit of a slow start, but our boys are right in it.
Welcome back to the Brisbane Entertainment Center, where Southeast Melbourne has a 3-point lead over the Brisbane Bullets. I was listening in to Coach Josh King. I love how fiery he is as a coach. His players definitely respond, but he told his team it's all about the second line of defense. If someone gets beat off the dribble, someone else has to step up and help. And then offensively and defensively, he wants them to crash the glass. That is super important for him today, guys.
Big block from Harrison to start their second term. Thank you, Ariana. The Bullets found themselves in a 13-point hole early doors, 14-1. Clawed their way back. This has been a team that has not lacked for fight, resilience that Stu Lash has pointed throughout the season, Pete. They just haven't made life easy on themselves at certain times.
We're in the early record territory here for offensive rebounds. 10 offensive rebounds in the first quarter, as you see the replay of Harrison's block. Melbourne United had 22 in the opening game of the season. That's been a season's best from anyone. When you go back since 2010 and 2011, 29. Two teams have done that. The Bullets did that in January of this year. Last season, they had 29 offensive rebounds versus the Kings and Adelaide back in 2016. If the Bullets want to win this game, they've got to clean that up right now, because 10 second chance opportunities is just way too many.
Not going to get the job done by any stretch. Tyrell Harrison had 12 in a game at 1 point last year.
That was against Cairns, my memory. That's way too easy for Patterson, who's still got plenty left in his 34-year-old legs.
Mar knows what to do with it in that situation. He's bringing plenty to the table for the Brisbane Bullets. Hunter loses the handle there. Prather's out and running. Patterson is riding shotgun, but Casey doesn't need the help.
Defense leading to offense.
2-point game. Good fun in the early stages. Saturday night hoops in the Hungry Jacks NBL. It is Indigenous round. First of a double-header, the Wildcats and the Hawks to come. Hunter threads the needle on the pass. Sobey to Foster in the corner. Harrison pulls down the rebound. Number 3 for the big man inside. Got a couple of blocks as Tyrell Harrison. Casey Prather leads Brisbane in scoring with 8 as now Murray throws it down off the feed from Adams.
Sobey has a few words to say to Murray. This is also very peak Josh King. Many other teams might call a timeout and say, hey, let's just refocus here after a great first quarter, but Josh King wants to see his team dig their way out of it.
You see the Bullets shooting numbers haven't hit from downtown as yet. Foxwell can't connect with Foster. It's the 3rd turnover of the game so far for Southeast Melbourne. We're shooting 31% from the field, 10 of 32. Brisbane on the other side of things, 11 of 20.
Phoenix takes more field goals than any other team in the league.
New Zealand got 24 extra shots against Brisbane on Thursday night. Prather fading away, can't hit.
I think they want to try and make Harrison a focal point of the offense. That's when they're at their best. Casey Prather's going to fill it up regardless. It's just what he does right now. Scores at a high rate and an efficient rate. 8 points already, 4 of 7, a couple of rebounds.
Makes the first free throw. He's got the longest streak of 20-plus games in the competition at the moment with 5. So anytime you're ahead of Bryce Cotton in any scoring stat. Of course, he had a quiet game a couple of weeks ago against the Sydney Kings. He made up for it a little bit last week, I thought,
though. Twice now the Phoenix have gone early and given the Bullets an extra free throw. And I'll tell you what, you fast forward to the end of the game, if it's a 1-point ball game or 2 points, giving extra free throws, that's twice now that Brisbane have made them pay for just simple errors.
So the Bullets take the lead for just the 2nd time so far tonight. Sobey trying to take it straight back. Go back in blue with the home team. So first of 3 at home for the Bullets. They've got a home doubleheader next week against Cairns and Sydney. Adams off the glass. Bullets will keep this alive. Prather was fouled by Iwandu, who fouled out in 11 minutes on Thursday.
Cam Toby breathes a sigh of relief. Someone's going to beat that one day.
Is that your favourite niche stat?
Absolutely.
That's because that comes right off the top of the dome with just some real speed.
It's very hard to foul out in 3 minutes and 24 seconds. Very, very hard. So he deserves all the credit that he can get.
And whoever beats him deserves, it's going to take a very, very concerted effort. Foxwell gets crashed into as he's trying to pull down the rebound. He's clutching for the back of the scone. Continues to improve, does Owen Foxwell. He's into Tane Murray. He's going to take a seat as well for his trouble. Brown, Hunter, Sobey, Maldonado, Iwandu out there for the Phoenix, who trail by 2, having led by 13 early in the game, and John Brown just passed that straight to Alex Dukas. Looked inside, there was no one there, and threw it anyway. Harrison puts it on the floor, just goes full battering ram.
Tyro Harrison not known for the drill moves. And there's been a flop point given as well, just to double down on that pain.
Harrison just out here breaking ribs as he puts the ball on the floor. Brisbane by 4, 30-26. 6 minutes and 42 seconds remaining here in this second term. And the Bullets have come to play here in this second after finding themselves in a hole in the early going. Southeast Melbourne came out of the blocks fast. They were so good, of course, on Thursday night. A big part of that was Hunter Maldonado, who caught up with Ariana pre-game.
The Bullets are coming off a great win, as are you guys, so their confidence are going to be at an all-time high. How do you guys contain the Bullets tonight?
I think, like I said, this last question is play to our identity. We know who we are. Get after it on the defensive end and let that fuel our offense.
So a 10-0 run for the Bullets here, Pete. And Hunter Maldonado, scoreless so far, 0 of 2, but probably played his best game on Thursday night against Sydney.
He did, coming off the bench. Knows his role now, just trying to find a way to be super effective. But the Phoenix, for how good they are defensively, they've got to slow down this man. And from what history tells us, looking around the rest of the league, I'm not sure anybody can, because Casey Prather right now is just playing at a different level. It was a little bit like last year when Kendrick Davis putting up ridiculous numbers, and if it wasn't for number 11, Bryce Cotton, running around, we'd be talking about some of the greatest numbers we've seen in the first year from an import. Similar this year with Prather, Soviets, a nice settler.
He's right in his bag, is Casey Prather. He just looks so comfortable out there at the moment. Nothing hurries him up. In complete control and command of his surroundings as he turns it over with the pass inside.
He's got to throw it a lot higher than that for Harrison, because Nathan Sobey is very athletic.
Maldonado for 3. That's a nice settler as he rattles that one in and hands the Phoenix back the advantage.
That's why that really hurts. Stu Lash. Turnover and they punish you and take the lead again. Seen them get Harrison with the back to the basket much at all through the first 15 minutes.
Nice little two-man game, and Murray explodes to the rim again.
Had that in him, Joel. It's a couple now.
Making a real impact, Tane Murray, 3 of 3 for his 6 points. They've all been right at the cup. Brown falling away, goes Glass, got fouled by Adams.
It's going to be before the shot, it looks like. Have a look at the Amy replay. Dukas to Murray, who just beats Geordie Hunter to it. Hunter was coming across. Nice finish there. The youngster, Alex Dukas as well. NBA championship ring throughout the week. Oklahoma City. Ridiculous detail in it if you haven't seen it. A ring within a ring.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. Those championship rings, and he said it was going straight to Mum and Dad's place in Geraldton. I reckon his mum will be showing it around town. Harrison inside to Patterson, denied by Glover. Impressive defense from Angus Glover.
You're saying that's the prized item of Geraldton?
Maybe, sort of like the keys to the city type operation. Crown jewels of...
Not a Geraldton local, so they might have something to say about that. Oh, right on cue, Dukas. Great spin move, good finish.
Those kind of achievements do mean so much to regional communities, places like Geraldton, so no doubt he is the apple of the eye of that part of the world as Hunter drains the triple, and we are just trading blows here in this second term.
Yeah, Stu Lash will be happy, Josh King will not.
It's going back in green.
They're the ones from Patterson where just let the ball move for a little bit, keep it off the ground side to side. Phoenix, one of those teams, if you try and just break one guy down off the dribble, everyone else is normally connected enough to be in the right spots.
Last 5 buckets in the game have resulted in a lead change. Southeast string a couple together here. 4 minutes remaining here in this second term. Joel Peterson, Pete Hawley, Ariana Prather with you. Saturday Hoops and the Hungry Jacks NBL. Perth and Illawarra still to come tonight. Check in with our crew out west at half-time. Big doubleheader tomorrow as well. Melbourne, Adelaide, Sydney, Tassie for your Sunday to close out round 6 in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Plenty to like about what these two teams are throwing up at the moment. Maldonado out to Hunter, who is shooting it with confidence.
He is not shy, Geordie Hunter. I love this addition to his game.
Back-to-back threes for Geordie Hunter, just like he did on Thursday night to break the back of the Kings. But this time he's given Southeast Melbourne a 5-point lead. 3.5 remaining in this second term at the Tangerine timeout. It is Southeast Melbourne 39 to Brisbane 34.
A couple of mistakes there from Lamar Patterson as well. A couple of turnovers. That last pass was just not there. And he went a bit too early in the offensive possession before.
So, of course, it is Indigenous round in the Hungry Jacks NBL. You can get your jerseys to celebrate across round 6 and 7. Support your team. Purchase their Indigenous jersey. Available now at nblstore.com.au, or you can scan the QR code on screen to check them all out. They do look fantastic. They bring so much colour. It's become such a great feature as we celebrate Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander culture and its influence on our game and our society more broadly, and of course First Nations culture in New Zealand as well. There's Mitch Norton, who is modelling the Brisbane jersey, so it's got meandered across the front, of course, and the beautiful artwork designed by Cassie Dover, who's a former professional basketballer, of course, very prominent basketball family in southeast Queensland. The Dovers, who now coaches, and you see the blue water and the land representing the areas from the Sunshine Coast to the Gold Coast, now toward the waters of Moreton and Stradbroke Islands. Symbolises those who support and guide the team, family, mentors, coaches and community. It is a great looking strip that the Bullets have got on. You can get one at nbl.score.com.au, as you can for all 10 teams in this Indigenous round. Dukas misses out of the timeout. Ariana, what did Stu Lash have to say?
Well, he did not say to run that offense. He actually said he wanted the ball to move to 2 sides at least twice, and on the second side, something should be open offensively. He didn't speak too much about defense, but we know that that has to pick up.
And the Southeast Melbourne defense gets it done there, and Sobey cruises into the hoop to throw it down.
That was a great play from Prather. Would have had Smith-Milner coming down the lane, but spot on. That's what I was talking about. Those quick passes, no pass offense is just not going to work against the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix.
And it has been a constant theme throughout Stu Lash and for many coaches, Pete. If he said one thing all season, it's been move the ball.
So if you can get a stop or a long rebound, then absolutely push in transition. But if it gets to this half court, just move side to side, get ball movement, player movement, and wait to see if you can make some movement happen defensively from the Phoenix.
Patterson to the middle, now out to Prather. 5 seconds left. Can Casey bail them out of the possession? That one comes off.
You're also got to be careful
the rim.
That side-to-side action if there's just no heat on the rim at all, because then the defense just gets to dictate how they move. So you've still got to be able to turn the corner, take a couple of dribbles towards the key, kick it on quickly, everybody move, rotate.
Possession arrow is going to take this back with Brisbane by the looks, according to Ken Widgeon. We've got a couple of Kens. Josh King wants to have a look at it. Ken Widgeon, Ken Arrick, Damien Lyons, our refereeing crew.
So Josh King wanted to challenge. You heard the referee saying, jump ball, Brisbane ball.
It did look like it was nice touch, but
it's interesting because it's a jump ball. Obviously, you can't challenge that particular call a jump ball, but that was given because of no one knew who the ball was out of bounds of. So a bit of a technicality in that.
That one's off Geordie Hunter. Wait for a moment there to see what would unfold. Have been able to even the rebounding battle up to a certain extent, the Bullets. It hasn't been as much of a problem as it was in the early stages.
They haven't given up an offensive board this entire quarter. Great baseline out of bounds play to send Harrison to the free throw line. Only taken 3 field goals, Tyrell Harrison. 5 rebounds, 2 blocks, 5 points.
He's dominant in the second half the other night. Had 9 points and 7 of his 16 and 11 after half time in New Zealand. So important to what they do at both ends, because for all his offensive weaponry, he is a more than stout defender. And Wonder is called to wait for the substitution. Harrison hits the second. Wes Iwundu will come into the game for Geordie Hunter. So he, Glover, Ketchalier, Foster and Maldonado, the 5 for the Phoenix. Adams, Dukas, Patterson, Prather, Harrison for Brisbane. John Gack it is who's into the game. Former Bullet. Spent a season here a couple of years ago. Glover for 3. Shooting it with confidence. Didn't hit one against Sydney, but 8 against the Hawks a couple of games ago. Maldonado stepping through.
Really good take from Maldonado. With Gack in this lineup, if I'm the Bullets, side to side, get Harrison on the block. I'll tell you what, I'm reviewing that too. Josh King's thinking about it. He's putting the trust in his team. And they've inbounded. That's smart play from Lamar Patterson.
Cole Bowen is fouled by Gack. Harrison gets fouled by Gack. Had Cole Bowen on the mind, Pete, because I was thinking Josh King needed someone like him to pretend to tie the shoelaces up.
Oh, that was, yeah, I think Hernandez was all over that. But they wanted to review that, and I think Lamar Patterson saw it and quickly inbounded it, but that's what I called for. Give it to Harrison against Gack and let him go to work.
Good things happen when you get the ball in the hands of that man.
So shout out Cole Bowen if you are tuning in.
Big West Australian, why not? One of the best mustaches in the NBL. Hope you're enjoying your evening, Kyle. And send the check to Jack Peterson.
He had me shook.
I had myself shook, don't worry about that. Angus Glover gets to the line. 43-38, Southeast Melbourne on top at the moment, led by as many as 13 in that opening term. Bullets fought their way back, took the lead, ripped off a 10-0 run to start this quarter, and they've traded the lead ever since.
Run off and get fed from Angus Glover. That's called off since the explosion against the Hawks.
Had not missed a free throw coming into tonight. That'll fall. So no burgers this time, courtesy of Angus. Minute remaining here in this second term.
That cross screen, here it is to Harrison.
It's just driving out of control.
Didn't need to do it. We echoing Stu Lash, get the ball side to side, it was there.
Harrison did enough to affect the shot from Foxwell. Adams to Prather, coming downhill. Good defense from Alir.
Well, it's a 2-for-1. Josh King screaming for it.
Glover will give it to him.
Oh, wow. So they must have had a prior conversation to say that's enough from the bench, because it looked like Geordie Hunter stepped onto the court. So we'll get another replay of it. Watch Geordie Hunter, top left corner. And I'm not sure he actually did. I mean, obviously he comes well out of that zone of sitting down, but it looked like in live play that left foot stepped onto the court, but on the replay, I'm not quite sure that it did.
It's the old NFL.
Here. So it looks close there, the left foot of Geordie Hunter, but we saw on the other angle, he doesn't actually step onto the court, so a bit hard done by there.
It's like the end zone in the NFL. It might have crossed the plane of the court, Pete, but he didn't touch it down in the court. It's a good defense from Foster, forces it loose off Adams.
So they're trying to get that cross screen to get it into Harrison. The problem is the Phoenix know it's coming too. So if you're Jalen Adams, you can't just stand there holding the ball, dribbling it, waiting for it to happen. You've got to take a couple of dribbles down, be strong with it, wait for Harrison to make his move, and then feed it in.
Do they need to be a little bit more creative in the way they draw it up to get it into Harrison as well?
Well, they had it set up the play before. Just Dukas broke it off to try and get downhill. If they had swung that across the other side of the court, Adams was going to cross screen and Harrison would have been able to get an easy 2.
So 7-point lead to Southeast, 15 seconds remaining. Josh King wants to talk it over with his team at the Tangerine timeout to get a bucket off the back of this stoppage. Perth and Illawarra coming up next out west at RAC Arena. The Wildcats, of course, big winners on Wednesday night. And, gee, the Hawks, they need a W badly, Pete.
Tell you what, they've had a long way to wait, the Illawarra Hawks. Since that tough loss, they would have been beating each other up in practice. Justin Tatum would have been just demanding that competitiveness, so you expect them to come out hungry and firing. Let's see what Josh King has drawn up here this last play.
Lost by 40 last time out, the Hawks.
And it's tough.
They'll be stunned.
And as a player, you want to play in 2 days' time, so you can forget that and move on. They've had to wait so long between that game. Look for something for either Owen Foxwell getting down to his left hand.
Week since they played the Hawks.
Or Nathan Sobey in an isolation.
So they've got the fouls to give here to try and make the Phoenix earn it. That's what Divas did with Foxwell. Now off to Sobey. He puts his head down, gets inside, tries to wrap it around, can't finish. And the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix will go to the main break with a 7-point lead over the Brisbane Bullets. Entertaining second term. The lead changed hands 5 or 6 times in the middle stages. It was Geordie Hunter with a couple of triples that gave the Phoenix what has been a lasting advantage to the half. And they lead 46-39 in what's been a pretty entertaining clash so far.
Yeah, 7 steals for the Phoenix. That's the main reason why they've got this 7-point lead. A couple of them are forced, and other times it's just been the Brisbane Bullets being too careless, and we've got ourselves a big second half.
Indeed we do. 46-39, Southeast Melbourne on top. Let's get down to Ariana.
Nathan, you guys were off to such a fiery start, double-figure lead. Now it's down to single digits. How do you get back on top?
Yeah, I mean, defensive end. I mean, we know they can score the ball. We've got to continuously get stops. I think we took our foot off a little bit, and they got on a run, and we can't afford to do that.
You're leading all scorers right now. I know you're used to scoring buckets on this floor. How are you able to find your shot so easily?
I mean, just the offensive execution from our guys. We just got to continue to keep getting good looks.
Good luck in the second.
Thank you very much.
So the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix lead it by 7 at the half in the River City. 46-39. We'll have the analysis on the other side of this.
Can you elaborate more on what some of these camps and some of these initiatives involve?
So with basketball programs, we travel all over Queensland. We run clinics and stuff throughout the schools, with skills and drill sessions and things like that. And then we organise the same sort of sessions throughout our associations all across the year.
And how important are you finding basketball and these basketball programs to be for these kids?
It's pretty powerful, especially in the communities. Yeah, that's probably the most important part of the role, is getting out and visiting the kids in communities, and they're just happy to pick up the basketball and happy to find them and see a smile on their face, and that's pretty valuable.
If anybody wanted to know more about these programs and more about what you do at Basketball Queensland, where can they go?
So jump at our Basketball Queensland website, or our socials, and everything that we do there in our activities, they'll all be up there. We've got a tournament at the end of the year in December, the First Nations Championship, so we've got all the way from under 12s all the way to open, so it's pretty cool.
Thanks for your time, Simon.
Cheers, good day.
Half-time in the River City. It's the visitors, Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, who lead at 46-39 at the main change. A back and forth second term, plenty of highlights. Nathan Sobey leads all scorers with 13 points in his former venue. Joel Peterson and Pete Hooley with you here at half-time. There is our match stats. Pete, what do they tell us?
Have a look at the three-pointers from the Brisbane Bullets. I know they are the lowest threes attempted in the league, but they're going to have to hit down a couple, especially with those careless turnovers. They knock down a couple of threes. They take away those careless turnovers that aren't forced by that relentless pressure from the Phoenix, and they'd probably be leading right now, but they're right within striking distance after a really poor start.
Indeed they are. Nathan Sobey's been important for the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix in the first half, as always, coming off a 30-piece on Thursday against the Sydney Kings. He's the focus of our Hungry Jacks highlights here at halftime. 13 points, 5 of 13 shooting in the early going, and he's been really at the heart of everything they've done.
Yeah, he has, and I like the way that he's just scoring at different levels this year in particular. We know that he can shoot the three ball. At times he's fallen in love with it a bit too much, but he's really clearly putting emphasis on getting downhill, putting heat on the rim. If he's not there, you saw him kick to John Brown III. All these other options, gets to the mid-range. That's what I'm most pleased about from Nathan Sobey. And 5 of 13, I know it's under 40% from the field, but so often we see him when he's the only one who's making plays, it'd probably be 5 of 20. So I think he's matured a whole lot under Josh King's coaching, and clearly it's paying off.
And he's plus 15 now. Not everyone's in a plus-minus.
I am,
but he's plus 15 at half-time, so he's doing good things at the moment, is Nathan Sobey. There is a lot to like about what he is bringing to the table. It is 46-39, the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix over the Brisbane Bullets here at half-time. We've got a massive game coming up next. Perth and Illawarra out west at RAC Arena. So much to look forward to on this Saturday night of hoops. Why don't we preview it? We'll go to two of the best in the business. Damien Martin and Damon Lowry are standing by. Damon, a very good evening to both of you. Damo, first of all, of course, the Wildcats. It's been an uneven start to their season. Are they ready to go tonight? What's the vibe?
Yeah, absolutely. I thought they bounced back nicely. Obviously released Mason Jones, head up to Cairns. They got another import that was under the weather, couldn't play. And all of a sudden they had one of their best breakout performances from Elijah Pepper, who I think they're expecting big things from this season. So when there's things that create opportunities, some grab it with two hands and run with it. And I thought the Wildcats did that in their previous outing and want to back it up tonight.
Damon, the Hawks, it's been a week since they got obliterated. That's a whole lot of practice under Justin Tatum when the guys, I'm sure, would just be so eager to get back on court and put it behind them. What are we expecting from the Hawkies tonight?
Yeah, I'm expecting a whole lot of fight, Pete. Like obliterated, that's a bit of a harsh word, but I'll see where you're going with that one. Yeah, a lot has changed since the last time these two teams met right here, and I feel like they've had a come-to-Jesus moment, and I'm expecting them to come out tonight full of vengeance.
Well, two quick questions before we go. One, Damon, has the man next to you bought you a coffee yet on any of your trips out to Perth? And secondly, congratulations on the NFL Hall of Fame, clearly.
First of all, that coffee gag, you know I don't drink coffee, and you've used that Hall of Fame jacket joke for like the last 2 years.
I can't imagine Damon caffeinated, but it'll be a good time. Gentlemen, have a great call along with Lockie and Annalie tonight. Looking forward to hearing from you both.
Go ahead, fellas.
The two Damos, Damon and Damien tonight with Lockie and Annalie. It's going to be good fun out west, Perth and Illawarra. Stick around for that. Stick around for the second half here too. It is the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix by 7 as we go to it. 46-39. It's been good fun so far. No doubt the fun will continue here in the second half. It's all coming up next.
Brisbane fans, don't sit this season out, make it official. A full season membership is your ticket to every moment, every bucket and every home court win. You'll enjoy great savings, special member drinks, and extra perks that go beyond game night. Join the Bullets family today at brisbanebullets.com.au and be a part of it all. Bullets fans, the Ignite Cup is heating up on the Gold Coast. We're calling you to show up and make it feel like a home game away from home. 2-game passes start from $88 for adults and $27 for juniors. Take your game night to the next level with courtside seats. It's quite literally the closest that you can get to the court. Enjoy a 3.5-hour food and beverage package with access to the backstage club, VIP entry, and seats so close that you will literally feel the action. Plus, after the game, you'll become high-viable players as they do their lap around the court. Courtside seats start from $295. Secure yours now at brisbanebullets.com.au. To see your name up on the big screen for your birthday, visit www.brisbanebullets.com.au and you can request a shout out for yourself or for your mate. Just make sure that you submit it 3 days before the game and we can wish you a happy birthday.
Some talents are born, others are built. Rocco Zikorsky was born with height and athleticism. But height alone doesn't get you drafted. He built the rest on hard work and determination. Luckily for Rocco, he always had the right people around him. Coaches that believed in him, family that supported him, and a country that's right behind him. Let's take a look at the lead up to the NBA draft and the moment that Rocco's dream became reality. Thanks to Amy.
The Chicago Bulls select Rocco Zikorsky. Tell us about how you were feeling, and again, I talk about all the different emotions. I'm sure you range from being super excited to anxious to overwhelmed with everything that you've achieved, being proud. Take us through it all.
It was a massive whirlwind. Like you said, it's every emotion in the book within a 10-minute span, especially when every team's on the clock and the second round rolls through. It's like you're sitting there wondering, is this it? You're looking at your phone, waiting for a phone call, and after the pick is announced and I hear my name called, it was just a massive relief and also just an excitement that I'm in the NBA now, it's time to go. I've been really lucky, you know, I've had my mum, my grandma, my dad, childhood fans, to the Bullets supporters, but yeah, just there was an outpour of support.
Lucky you're with Amy.
Coach, really quickly, defensively, what adjustments have to be made this half?
Yeah, look, the ball screen connection got to be a little bit better, and then obviously tidying up the defensive rebounding is a big one for us. 11-0 boards, way too many rebounds for them.
How do you clean up the rebounding? Is it an effort thing?
Yeah, definitely. You know, we got to make hits first. John Brown, Hunter, you know, the young kid, Foster coming in, just making hits first and go and secure the ball.
Good luck in the second.
Thanks, A.
Ariana Praver, Greg Vanderjagt to bring us back from halftime. It is the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix by 7, 46-39. Joel Peterson, Pete Hawley with you in commentary. About set for a start here in this second half. We had 6 lead changes in the middle of that second term. Southeast led by 13 in the opening frame. The Bullets have fought their way back. They've been tough to play against all season, this Brisbane team. Yet to win at home. Hoping that tonight is the night to kick off a 3-game home stand. Prater gets a hand in on Hunter, but Patterson couldn't keep it in play.
Duke is getting the start over Murray. Second half up.
Bit of physicality.
Patterson as well.
Just a little bit frustrated with the goings on at the moment. Sovey trying to free himself up. 13 points in the first half for the former Bullet. Foxwell, triple, on the way and down.
Adams just kind of fell asleep. After that inbound, he was locked into Nathan Sovey, and there's an elevator screen at the top. Now 9 of 22 from the Phoenix. You see it below from 3 and 0 of 6 from Brisbane. That's the ball game right now.
They came in with their opponents shooting the best percentage on three-pointers in the competition. The Phoenix, as Patterson tries to make his move to the cup. Their opponents were shooting 36% on threes coming in to this one, Southeast Melbourne, which is the way that three-point shooting's gone in this season, Pete, is an astronomical rate.
Well, we've seen that, and again, I mentioned it last night, but Liam Santeria on Monday was kind of going through some numbers with me, and a lot of these blowouts, the average margin can be traced back to the three-point line differential. The teams that are shooting 45% on a night, the other team seems to try to blaze away to stay with them, and they can't do it, and that's why we're seeing an average margin of almost 16 points per game. And for the Bullets, they don't take a whole lot of threes. Brown, this is more aggressive than I've seen him on the offensive end in some time. And again, though, the Brisbane Bullets find themselves in a hole. Did this to start the game, and look at this. 9 points now for John Brown.
And he's just been doing a little bit of everything. So active and so energetic out there for the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. They've only got to the line 5 times, as you see. Brisbane 16. Praver for 3. One's offline. Sovey dribbles it into the foot of Dukas, who takes it away. He's got Adams in support, doesn't need him.
Good takedown from Dukas. What I will say is, the problem right now with the Brisbane Bullets half-court offense is they telegraph it. That little pick and roll for Jalen Adams was all to set up a little cross screen for Casey Prater. Everybody knew it was coming, and they still continue to run it. They got a good look. Just got to be a little crafty and take what the defense gives them at times as well.
Lewis kept it alive. Let's get another look at it here. The Phoenix. Malik Lewis cans another triple for outside.
It's been awesome. Malik Lewis 3 of 3, 9 points now.
I just heard Liam Santamaria's head hit the roof somewhere in the distance.
Leonardo DiCaprio, I mean, is Liam just pointing.
Harrison hanging off the rim, didn't get it to go. He might have put a bit too much action on the apparatus.
Oh, he would have gone in if he just let go. Well, he could have just tapped it in, caressed it in ever so slightly.
Made it into a catapult, Pete. Boing!
Oh, he was right there. Just a little soft touch would have worked.
9 points so far for Harrison. 3 of 5 at the stripe. Make it 3 of 6.
Everybody please, hands up.
Putting together a great season. August tenured member of this Brisbane Bullets team. Most improved player in the competition last season. Keeps this form up, he'll be in the conversation for potentially a number of awards at season's end.
The only thing that matters to him was obviously trying to win a championship for the Bullets, but he was so close to that NBA deal, that two-way contract. Front office change from the Denver Nuggets. Really the only thing that didn't help him get it this year. We forget how young he is because he's been in the league so long.
He's only 26. Tyrell Harrison, he's got a lot of basketball and a lot of very good basketball left in him. He gets tangled up with Brown underneath on that occasion. Foul goes on Harrison. It's his first of the night.
That's an easy call.
12-point lead to the Phoenix, 55-43. Joel Peterson, Pete Hooley, Ariana Prather with you. Saturday night hoops in the Hungry Jacks NBL. First of a double-header, Perth and Illawarra still to come this evening. Hawks desperate for a win. Perth returning home off a big W. Ignite Cup action on Wednesday night. Foxwell with the left hand is a crafty finish.
So they already had... I believe they already had... Look at it here. So technical fouls on John Brown. So it's... Keep an eye on. It's a great move from Foxwell, really patient. John Brown there. So they've already had a delayed game warning. So that's why I think Casey's eyes lit up. He's got to let that ball go. And we saw a couple of seasons ago, referees were so hot on anything. After the whistle, after a bucket, you touch the ball, you do anything. As Stu Lash has seen enough of Jalen Adams, and this is the other side of Jalen Adams, right? He's got the 3 points, but he's just fallen asleep defensively a bit too much.
It didn't look like there was a great deal of eye contact on his way off to the bench there. The head was down and he was... Actually, one of the assistant coaches ended up reaching out to him to stop him in his tracks before he went to take his seat.
And it's not the 3 points, right? We've seen him have some 2 back-to-back good games, scoring the ball, playmaking. It's... If you're not doing that, you've got to be so solid defensively, and he hasn't been. Been caught sleeping a little bit. Good take there from Prather.
Brown on the baseline. He's into double figures now. Was already up to 12.
I'll tell you what. He could be gone here, John Brown. So he got called for a foul there, and I'll tell you what, another referee came in and gave his second technical. So that's an early shower.
0 hit. We're going to shoot 2 shots for the bonus.
Technical foul, green 0.
John Brown.
So it was the other referee. Other referee came in to give the technical. He had the better angle and might have heard what he said.
So it's an early minute for John Brown this evening.
And I wonder what he said. Like, it has to be bad enough, right? I know there's been a few warnings.
Jalen Adams is looking pretty perplexed as he walked past there.
But if it was just waving the referee off, that's not enough, surely. I understand why we don't want the reactions to the calls.
Hands up.
Has to be a little bit of postscript to that, you would imagine.
That's the technical free throw. Now 2 free throws to come.
So Prather hits the technical free throw, and then 2 to come.
Line up, fellas.
So he can make it a 10-point game here with a couple more. Already taking their 20th foul shot of the game, the Bullets. Phoenix have only attempted 5. Casey Prather is 5 of 6, 6 of 7 now. 6:37 left, third period. Prather's up to 16. Eyeing off a 6th straight 20-point game. 6 of 8 at the line so far this evening. Here's the Brisbane Bullets star, Hunter. He continues to fire away on those opportunities. Aaliyah kept it alive for Southeast, putting in a good shift against Sydney on Thursday. Continues to grow into the season after missing their early few games. Sobey from outside connects on a triple. .16 for Nathan Sobey, 3 of 6 from downtown. Aaliyah gets the takeaway. Foxwell the other way. A catch, Aaliyah into the hoop is fouled by Adams. Team points is their biggest lead of the game.
Let's have another look at this, Giles. This is the John Brown ejection, right? So clearly a foul. Got to be more than that. For a second technical.
So we can't see, obviously we can only see the back of him. You imagine he must have said something.
Well, especially when you've just had one and you're about to get tossed for it. So if you've had warnings of like, hey, we don't want you reacting, we don't want you saying anything back after a call. If that was your first technical, I could understand it a little bit more. But if that's going to throw you out of the game, that's tough.
If there was nothing said in addition to the gesture, that is not a technical foul. Certainly not one to disqualify him. As Jordy Hunter gets crafty and goes reverse.
I thought this might have been Brisbane's time to really try and have a amount of comeback as Divas gets the easy 2. But the Phoenix are putting their foot down.
They have not lost a third term this season. The Southeast Melbourne Phoenix 6 and zip. As Sobey tees up another triple and cashes it. Nothing but the bottom of the net for Nathan Sobey, who is reintroducing himself to this Bullets crowd. And he's put Southeast up by a game high, 18 points, 68 to 50. We are not even halfway through this third term. And they have scored 22 points so far. Have the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Tangerine timeout for the Brisbane Bullets. Let's get down to Ariana.
Well, I have a very special jersey here. It's the Brisbane Bullets Indigenous Round jersey, inspired or artwork by Cassie Dover, a former WNBL player. And she said that it instills in others the value of embracing what has gone before. So you see the giant circle here is supposed to represent the support system, friends, family, community. And then there's 5 pathways leading outward, which are the 5 core principles to live by. I'm so excited to have this here and get a great close-up look at this jersey. You see the Bullets players wearing it there, but look how awesome this is. Might be one of my favorite in the league.
Thanks, Ariana. The detail up close is really astonishing in these Indigenous Round jerseys, and you see the variations in the style of artwork, Pete, particularly in the northern part of the country. There's a lot of dots used in the artwork. In the southern part of the country, it tends to be more lines.
And the stories behind every single one of them, it's awesome. The reason why everybody's favourite round of the year. And Josh King has been given a behaviour warning in that timeout, which is no surprise after what's transpired.
So a couple of changes here for the Bullets. Jack Purchase into the game for his first minutes so far, trying to stretch the floor, the big man.
And that's Tyrell Harrison's first touch really in the half court, and it's a handoff. They just need to get Harrison involved more in the offense. Casey Prather's on the bench right now.
talking to Ken Widgeon at that timeout.
I think it might have been a little bit more after that because he was just having his piece there. But as a head coach, you've got to have your teammates' backs, and that's an easy foul call there on Jack Purchase. This is where the Brisbane Bullets, we talked about how this season, but take out that Hawks game, they haven't played terribly, but they found themselves in deep holes, and it's hard to continue to come back out of. They did it in Melbourne United twice, but it's also where Stu Lash should be able to turn to a Mitch Norton and say, hey, just settle things down for us on both ends. Bring everybody together, get us set, let's get Tyrell Harrison a touch. And they're in the bonus here for the Phoenix, who already have 22 points in 5 minutes. So Nathan Sobey's going to knock these two down.
He's extremely proficient three-point foul shooter. He's Nathan Sobey. 77% led the competition in foul shooting a couple of times. So it's so easy to sit here, Pete, and say, just get it into the big man, just get it into the big man. Why do teams find it challenging with players like Harrison, or we say it with Isaac Humphries? Why do they find it challenging to get the ball inside to these guys?
I mean, credit Geordie Hunter. He's one of those bigs who does do a lot of the early work. So you look like you can get him some side-to-side action and get into him on the block. But outside of that, they haven't really looked to go to him at all. And this is a point guard issue right now. So if it's Jalen Adams, okay, let's call something. Let's get a cross screen. Let's get whatever play we want to get Tyrell the ball. Because the other side of it is, we saw it in the second quarter. Hey, let's just roll it in there against Gorjok Gak. The Phoenix know you're trying to do that as well.
Don't have the element of surprise on the offensive end, as you mentioned. The Brisbane Bullets, 19-point lead. New game high for Southeast. Adams getting to the line. With their 23rd and 24th free throws of the contest, the Bullets. They have not hit a three-pointer as yet, 0 of 9. The other end, Southeast Melbourne, are 12 of 28, so they are shooting a scorching 43%. And the Bullets a slightly less scorching 0%, Pete.
You're not going to win too many games not hitting a single three. On Division, someone's going to hit one. Don't make me go into the record books to find the last team that did not hit a three.
I mean, I'm not going to make you, but
I'm on the way.
I thought you would have been. 52-69. Southeast trying to go to 5-2 on the season. Brisbane trying to get their first home win. Of course, they came back from 24 down against New Zealand on Thursday. They've got another tough task this evening. Angus Glover goes to the foul line. This could be a rather slow end to this third term with both teams in the bonus. And as you mentioned, Pete, Southeast have already got 24 points, and we're only just halfway through this third term. Went to halftime with 46. So 71-52, 4:36 remaining in this third term. Hariani, you've got an injury update for us.
That's right. Tohi Smith-Milner will not be returning to the ball game. He has a dislocated finger. So if you see him on the bench, it is wrapped up, and he will not be returning to the ball game. This is just not what the Bullets need, because he is a sharpshooter for them.
And other injuries, the last thing that Brisbane can afford, already without Norton, without McDaniel. They never had Jacob Holt at the start of the season. Now no Smith-Milner. They're only just getting Dukas back. They have been hit by the injury bug. Of course, Freeman Liberty had the ankle injury, then the hamstring injury.
In the last 10 years here, Joel, I've been in the deep dive for. In the last 10 years, no one has gone through a game without hitting a three. Perth Wildcats have hit 1 3 twice. That was in 2021 and 2016. In the last 10 years, no one has gone through without hitting a single three-pointer.
Another ignominious record to set if you were going to do it. Hunter loses that one out of play. 71-53. Who's it going to be then, Pete? Who is going to break this stuff for Brisbane?
I would say it could be Jack Purchase, to be honest. They've got shooters on there.
to space the floor and get something going from outside.
Anderson has not taken a shot this quarter. And even that one there, you just get him to roll in.
Adams coming downhill. I like his free throw line.
Adams.
They need it at the moment. They don't look like they have much on the offensive end. And if it isn't Jalen Adams going to the cup with Casey Prather off the court at the moment.
We saw him last week against Melbourne United when they were down. Similar situation than they are right now in the third quarter. And he just kind of said, you know what? Come along for the ride with me. As it looks like both Prather and Dalton is going to come into the game.
Led by 20 at one stage in that game, Melbourne. Brisbane came back to take the lead in the final term.
The back of Lamar's jersey. So, his name is Patterson, not
Terson. So
French.
Either that or a grandparent. 71-55. I get that reaction far too often from you, Peter Hurley. Probably not more than I deserve. 16-point lead to the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Both teams in the bonus. Brisbane scrapping and clawing, trying to hold on this ball game. Geordie Hunter and the Phoenix trying to put them away. Maldonado, Foster, Iwundu, Sobey out there with Hunter at the moment. Murray, Adams, Dalton, Patterson, and Prather. The 5 for Stu Lash and the Bullets. Geordie Hunter will go to the line.
Now here you are, some Joel. There had to be a team that never hit a 3 in a game. Of course, so 2014-15 season, the New Zealand Breakers playing the Taipans. They lost by 24. They only put up 59 points. And they were 0 of 17. That was the last time a team, and no surprise, it didn't end well for them.
Geordie Hunter makes both at the line. Nice work to dig that one out, Pete. 27 points already in this quarter for Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Mark Patterson on the freeway to the rim. Just had it roll off the front.
2 of 8 now. It's been a tough night for Lamar Patterson.
Wundu outside. Patterson the rebound. Dalton gets an almighty steal underneath. Sobey goes flying out of court. Meanwhile, Adams cruises through and will go to the line again, Jalen Adams.
And if you're just tuning in, yes, this is still the third quarter. We know there is a game coming up next.
It might actually start at 8 o'clock Perth time, that game. It's going to start at 8 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. Of course, the Saturday switch coming up after us as well.
We'll see at this rate.
Might be a slightly abridged version.
Nothing's given.
Might be the Saturday Swift, Lamar Patterson style.
If I could play by play, I would have kicked you out a long time ago.
Probably wouldn't be alone thinking if I could play by play, that'd be good as well. 73-56.
And you would be shocked to hear yet another whistle, which is going to send Aaliyah to the free throw line.
Catch Aaliyah. Coming off another strong in.
And to be perfectly fair, they're all fouls.
Yep.
Right, that's Dalton just bumping the cutter. So both teams just have to be a little smarter right now.
I like what this man brings to the table in terms of his activity and his skill set. Spent a year with Adelaide as a DP and then Melbourne United last season. Last couple with Mount Gambier in the NBL1 South, where he's been all first team on a couple of occasions, MVP contender in that competition.
So Casey Prather is currently running the 5 with Lamar Patterson to the 4. This is as small as you can get from the Brisbane Bullets' perspective.
Prather leaves it behind. Phoenix off and running. Maldonado's got options up ahead. Lex just to slow it down. 12 turnovers for the Bullets in the game. As usual, the Phoenix looking after the rock. Sobey almost threw that one away. Ali, nice pass underneath. Maldonado had it, lost it, got it back and scored.
16th offensive rebound. And they kind of suck the air out of this place.
The problem has reared its head here in this term as Prater gets denied by Aaliyah. Maldonado for the three on the other end. No good. Aaliyah pulls it down, drops it off to Sobey, who lays it home. Stulash says enough is enough. Timeout, Brisbane. Southeast Melbourne have really run away with this in this third term. 79 to 56. 2 minutes 13 remaining at the Tangerine timeout. And the Brisbane Bullets have dug themselves an almighty hole again in this one, down by 23 at the moment. Let's hear from Mitch Norton pre-game.
Mitch Norton, captain of this team, thank you for joining me pre-game. First things first, you've been out for a few weeks, so your perspective of the whole game has changed. What have you learned about your team from being on the sidelines watching?
You know, the fight's been incredible. I wouldn't like to see us in a hole that we have been in early in games, but the fight and the grit we've shown late in games, second halves, to come back and challenge late in games or take the win has been really impressive and something that I'm really proud of.
I'll be very pleased to have him out there when he can get back, and that fight has been there throughout the season for the Bullets, but the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix are a heavyweight in this competition, Pete.
33 points in the third quarter. It's still plenty of time to go. And they've been doing it very quietly. I know they had their stumble over in Adelaide. I think if Josh King had his time again, he might have a different defensive plan in place for that game. But other than that, they're a team that, you know what, if you look at recent history, you have to be a good defensive team if you want to win a championship. And Josh King is all locked in on that end. They're going to be there having a chance just based on that alone. Look at them go.
They are swarming everywhere at the moment as Patterson dives on the loose ball. Geordie Hunter loves it on the bench. So does Josh King. Another foul. It's going to send Ketchalier to the line.
And it's nothing crazy. It's just everybody's moving together. They're getting up and in, the ball pressure. That'll be clipped up to show tomorrow from Josh King.
Ketchalier at the line. Let's check in with Ariana.
Hey guys, I was listening in to the Bullets' last huddle, and Coach Lash was focusing in on offense. He wants them to get more sound shots, space the floor, get that ball movement we were talking about in the first half, and take better shots. But I think the glaring thing that the Bullets have dropped the ball on this ball game is second chance points for Southeast Melbourne. They have to crash the glass and stop allowing them to get easy putbacks.
17 offensive rebounds right now, so Harrison checks into the game. Harrison, take out Casey Prater. Harrison is their focal point, and he has not attempted a field goal in this quarter. But look at this. Look at this, the pressure. That's very lucky not to be a violation, but they haven't even started their offense. They're doing it now with 10 seconds on the shot clock.
And they run into a wall. Iwundu up top. Maldonado can't finish. But this Phoenix team have dialed it up here in this third term. And they are ramping up the pressure at every opportunity. Adams cashes a three.
The first one.
The first one falls for the Bullets. 1 of 10.
And I tell you what, that is dirty work from the control room to Amy Replay. They're only 3 of the game stepping into it. They need to get some stops now.
Aaliyah can't connect. Can't corral in the rebounds. Adams looking for Harrison. And he passed it straight into a crowd. So even when they do try and pass it to him, it doesn't work. 35 points here in this third quarter. Southeast Melbourne's best third quarter of the season, the biggest third quarter that Brisbane have given up so far this season, as Foxwell adds a couple more to it, and we're still not done.
83 points. Quarter to go.
Topped 110 3 times already this season. Iwundu gets his hand in on Adams. Possession arrow off the jump ball will keep it with Brisbane.
And the one thing you can't do is fall into the trap of, all right, let's make some one-on-one plays against the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, because even if you do somehow beat the very good defender in front of you, They are just so well connected that you're going to see a whole crowd.
Of course, they made the playoff run last year. They absolutely caught fire at the back end of the season. Finally, Tyrell Harrison gets a look at it. But they look like a really imposing prospect this season, the Phoenix, Pete.
For sure. They've got a lot more room to grow as well. But as I said, if you can lock up defensively and you've got that pressure, you give yourself a real shot at it.
5-second difference, shot to game clock to wind down this third term. Foster on the take. He can't finish. The Bullets will have enough time to work with. Dukas for three. Can't get it to go into three-quarter time. And time expires in this third term. The Southeast Melbourne Phoenix have opened up a big break in the ball game. They lead with a quarter to go by 22.
She is just playing around. Okay, Brooke, over to you.
This is, I would say, my favorite part. Oh my gosh, you're potentially about to win $10,000 thanks to our friends at Carnival Cruise. Now, Jeff, is it?
What is Jeff?
Where are you from?
From Brisbane.
Jeff from Brisbane. What would it mean to win $10,000?
That'd be amazing. Didn't expect that coming here tonight.
Well, we gotta hype this up for Jeff, Brisbane Bullets fans. What do you think? I'm thinking you get it loud. We're gonna get you out here. One shot, $10,000. Come with me, Jeff, from the halfway line. So, right here in the spotlight, there's your ball. Brisbane Bullets, can we get loud? Louder, come on! No, you got time to practice for the next round. Let's give it a round of applause to Jeff. A big thank you to Carnival Cruise Line.
Thank you, Brooke. Thanks, Nancy. Thank you, Jeff. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Last time we were here, we went on an almighty run in the fourth quarter. We can do this. Our team can bring this back on your feet.
Welcome to fourth quarter action here in Brisbane, where Southeast Melbourne has a sizable 22-point lead going into the fourth quarter. Coach Vandy was talking to the Bullets and got them fired up, saying you have to put a body on somebody, box out and rebound. That's all I can say on air. But guys, I think if the Bullets have shown anything, it's the game isn't over until it's over. I would say get it to 15 or under before the 6-minute mark, and they might have a chance. What do you think?
Well, it's going to take some threes to do that, Ariana, and they haven't shown they can do that so far, but this is going to help.
If Thursday was any indication, they might be capable of it. There's Casey Prather, who gets that one to start this final term. Immediately gets it back to 20. Hunter at the other end, no good. Foster tries to keep it alive, but can't keep it in. And a good pick-up for them. Daniel Foster, the DP, coming in. Josh King likes his activity, played his NBL 1 ball with the Keilor Thunder.
And that's somewhere you're going to give Josh King a lot of credit. It doesn't matter who you are, what you're paid, what your designation is on the roster. If you perform at practice, if you show out enough, he's going to play you.
3 ball for Prather, no good. 1 of 12 for the Bullets. My apologies, make it 1 of 13. Sure, that's an improvement. Jack Purchase getting set to check into the game. Stu Lash trying to space the floor. Sobey with a hand in the face. Doesn't phase Nathan Sobey.
As I said, we haven't seen a team since 2021 have just one made 3, and that was the Wildcats. They went down by 2 in that game.
Sobey picks the pocket here and races to the other end. He's got 27 in the ball game. Nathan Sobey having a fantastic weekend. And it is South East Melbourne who lead by 25.
And it's a whole lot more than just missing threes, right? Because they've only taken 13. They don't take a whole lot of threes to begin with. It's too much, you call it hero ball, right? Where it's like, you know what? I'm going to beat my guy. I'm going to be able to go and score rather than just get through a set. You look at the field goal attempts. So Casey Prather's tried hard. He's got 6 of 15. Tyrell Harrison is 4 of 5 for 12 points. Where's a point guard to take the reins and say, hey, let's just throw it inside, try and feed him, play off him? They haven't done that at all.
They've made hard work of it again tonight, the Brisbane Bullets. And South East Melbourne Phoenix, on the other hand, have made it look very easy indeed. Sobey with 27 points, 10 of 19 shooting. Plus 36 in the game. Here's the South East Melbourne co-captain. 25-point lead to South East Melbourne, 88-63. Nathan Sobey's got 27 points, 5 made triples, and his last 2 outings, Pete, in the space of 48 hours, the man has put up 60 points.
Yeah, he's been on fire. And he's going to stay out there as nearly another unforced error here.
16 turnovers in the game for the Bullets. Murray on the take, found nowhere to go once he got into the lane. Purchase for 3, that'll fall.
Purchase, that's what he does best. The fans like it because it's been a rare sight.
Still hasn't attempted a 2-point shot on the season, Jack Purchase.
Overrated. They're overrated, just...
Only made buckets at the Brisbane Entertainment Centre so far this season as Geordie Hunter goes for the intentional grounding on that one. Tosses at about 10 rows deep. The bar at that end of the court. South East Melbourne leading by 22. Adams fights his way inside. Jalen Adams is fouled. We've spoken about it a couple of times, Pete. The form of Brisbane so far this season. So the one loss to Illawarra by 27. Their other losses come in by 1, by 7, by 2 and by 9. And their wins by 9 and by 1.
And I have to go back and look at those losses that have been close. That for sure have been down double digits in all of them. They just find these rough patches. A lot of it is normally the start of the game, and then by the time they click into gear, they get back into it, but then there's a timeout from the opposition, and then they flex their muscles and go back in front, so they're forever chasing their tail. Now Dakota Matthias to come in. He's a great shooter and need a bit more creativity from the outside. Clearly needs some three-point production outside of Casey Prather. Seeing double.
2 of 14 tonight, the Brisbane Bullets. 88-68, Joel Peterson, Pete Hawley, Ariana Prather with you. Hawks and the Wildcats still to come tonight out in Perth. Lewis. Hunter had a go as well, trying to tip it home. Stay with South East Melbourne.
I think that'll be just about 20 offensive rebounds.
A couple tallied up to the team this evening. South East Melbourne, as well as plenty for individuals. Sobey for another 3.
He wants that 30-piece, I think.
And that is going to stay with South East Melbourne. So if it wasn't already, it is 20 offensive rebounds now, Pete. 20 offensive and 20 defensive rebounds.
Just smashed them. I mean, Brisbane, the worst rebounding team in the league.
And they've looked at tonight. They've lived up to the billing in that sense. Sobey wants another 30-piece. Drives inside, takes some heavy contact.
And this is as a team offensive rebounder, probably the ones that shouldn't count. That's good hands there from Murray.
Hunter Sobey Wundu, Foxwell and Lewis. Lewis was 3 of 3 before that try from outside, so showing some real flashes. The second-year next star, Adams stepping back, bricks that one. Geordie Hunter had all the time in the world to pull down the rebounds.
That's Tristan Devers coming in for Jalen Adams. Something to watch.
Wundu from outside. Adams on the boards. Races up the floor, takes some contact, kicks it to the corner. And the 3-ball will fall from Tane Murray. 9 points for Tane Murray. He's 4 of 4 from the field. 3 dunks and a 3. Sobey for Lewis, they can't connect.
The only replay, good push there from Adams. Murray feet set.
Davis does come in for Jalen Adams. 5 points tonight for Tristan Devers, 9 for Murray, 18 for Prather to lead Brisbane. Adams and Harris and the others in double figures, 13 and 12. Sobey's got 27. John Brown 12, Hunter 12 for the Phoenix. They scored 37 points in that third period alone. Prather from deep. Maldonado keeps it alive. Sobey takes some contact. He's fouled. Have you seen enough, Pete, in their 7 games so far, so 6 3/4 really for the South East Melbourne Phoenix? I mean, are they legit in your mind as an absolute title contender?
I think you have to be when you play defense this type of way, right? I mean, I know they lost to Melbourne United, but everybody's losing to Melbourne United right now. So if you're looking at title contenders outside of United, based on the defensive energy you see from them every single game, the way they play, and their offense is still evolving, led behind Sobey, Foxwell. Iwundu's going to play a little bit more. His rotation's going to grow. You have to say they are. Because even if their offense, as it continues to evolve, they hit those rough patches, they are one of those teams, much like Melbourne United are, where when they're going through a dry spell, so is their opposition. If we can't score, you won't score, and that's why they're always going to make a game of it.
Sobey throws that one away. Now going to be almightily hard to play against the South East Melbourne team. And of course, had the playoff push last year. Got the Hawks to a 3-game series. So they really came with a rush at the end of last season. So now we've got a sort of a prolonged sample size where Josh King's been able to extract some success from his team in the NBL. Sobey inside is fouled. Nathan Sobey will go to the line to try and add to his 27 points, by far and away a game high. Career high 37 for Nathan Sobey in Bullets colours in his last season in blue. Set his career high in back-to-back games in that season.
In 3 of their 5 losses thus far, so this will be 6. Tyrell Harrison has had less than 7 field goal attempts. So right now he's 4 of 5 for 12 points. It's no surprise that when they're winning, they beat Perth by 27. He was 8 of 15. They won their first game against New Zealand. He was 5 of 15. When they go away from him and they just get a bit too isolated individual play on the perimeter, they struggle, and especially because they don't shoot the 3-ball much and well. So if you're all your players on the perimeter and you struggle at that, you're not going to be in a position to win too many games.
Sobey checks out with 62 points to his name across the course of the round. There's our Mitsubishi Motors 3-point leaders. Nathan Sobey with 5 in the game. has catapulted himself into that leaderboard. He is shooting it really, really well to start this season. Harrison inside.
That's a good look. He's missed that one.
Too little, too late for the big man in this one. They haven't been able to find him. Lewis has been terrific for Southeast. Saw that one fall off the front of the rim.
22nd offensive rebound. Iwando in the corner all the time in the world.
And he cashes it. And he did the Casey Prather in front of the Casey Prather sign. 13 of 35 from outside.
23 offensive rebounds.
After they were 16 of 33 against the Kings earlier in the round.
That's a season high. Beating Melbourne United's season opener down in Tassie as Blake Lewis walked into a three. And that's the 24th offensive rebound.
It's been quite the display. Dukas is still looking pretty sore out there for the Bullets at the moment. He's a bit laboured. Just wonder if Stu Lash, who's only been playing 6 or 7 players, has got enough in reserve to throw a bench lineup out there. Harrison gets the turnaround to go. 20 points the margin. Southeast Melbourne, you would think, only need 5 points to cross 100 points for the 4th time so far this season. It'll be just the 2nd time the Bullets have given up 100 points as Aliir cashes a 3-ball. Their defence has been pretty stout for the most part, Pete, but it's been found out tonight.
Yeah, it sure has. The Phoenix just pounced early. Looks like Stu Lash can empty the bench here.
See on your screen, Southeast playing Perth next Sunday. That's their next outing, their only game of round 7 as the Indigenous round continues in the NBL. Brisbane have got a home double-header. They've got Cairns on Thursday, and then they host Sydney on Saturday night.
We'll have Dakota Matthias. How quickly can they get him integrated? Looks like every team's going to have some new pieces soon.
They need the shooting that he might bring, Pete. That is for sure. Lewis takes it away.
It would just be fitting if their 100th point was on an O board, but it won't be. It'll be off a turnover. As Glover knocks one down. So 16 of 39 from 3 for the Phoenix. And I mentioned off the top how the Phoenix take more field goals than any other team in the league. They are 35 of 83 in this game, compared to the Bullets 26 of 59.
So the Bullets again are minus 24 in terms of field goals attempted.
You're going to struggle to win ball games if your other team's getting 24 more opportunities than you are.
They did it on Thursday night against New Zealand. And it's the same margin again tonight. Double the offensive rebounds. The Bullets have given the ball back to them 7 times. And then 32 free throw attempts for the Bullets to 19 for the Phoenix.
Also mentioned that since 2010, we've had 2 teams who've had 29 offensive rebounds. Phoenix just got their 25th officially recorded on that foul. So they're 4 away from...
Wandu with 2 more. Only 2 players that have hit the floor so far, Pete, haven't got an offensive rebound for the Phoenix. DJ Mitchell now out there to make it a 3rd. Mitchell, Jack, and Nathan Sobey are the only 3 that haven't had an O-board credited to them. Murray, Dalton, Purchase, Patterson, and Jensen Bradke. 5 out there for the Brisbane Bullets. Jensen Bradke yet to open his account in terms of scoring here in the NBL.
Joel. Look at the young fella just...
He's got 2 chances, Pete. Of course, the son of Mark, 10 times All-NBL first team. There you go. First career points for Jensen Bradke.
No thanks to you. Long career ahead of him. Yeah, Mitchell, we haven't seen a whole lot of, kind of fallen out of the rotation since Aliir's come back in.
Just gets a hand on that. Of course, another former Bullet. Spent a couple of years in blue. It was a pretty weird time when he was here, to be fair.
Can elaborate?
They had plenty of coaching in that period, Pete. He got suspended at one point, essentially for what amounted to dissent early in the season, as Gack's able to ram that one home. 26-point lead to the Phoenix.
They did have in the span of 2 weeks more coaches than games played, which was it's hard to do.
Yep, it's almost impressive. That one will fall.
Hey,
Murray, he's been good. 5 of 5 now, Pete, for his 12 points.
Yeah, that's a miss a shot.
-9, -12 on the evening, I should say, but in the grand scheme of things, that's not too bad. Wildcats and the Hawks coming up as Patterson is able to drain the long two. Might be his final outing for the Bullets, at least in this stint.
Yeah, he's got his permanent residency officially now, but the next step for him is going down that citizenship path. I'm not sure how long it'll take. He's 34 years old, but he's been very serviceable in this time for sure.
DJ Mitchell on the take. There's another offensive rebound, Pete.
That's 26.
They are ticking them off. They've got a minute. Can they do it?
You get 3 O-balls in one play. And Lamar Patterson's in pickup mode.
Why not? They have more offensive rebounds than defensive rebounds in the game. 26 to 25. It's extraordinary. Iwundu inside. Mitchell underneath. Maldonado makes it 25 again. 109 points for the Phoenix. Their last 3 games, 116, 112, 109. Bracky for 3. They've been past 110 3 times already this season, the Phoenix. DJ Mitchell trying to make it 4. And off the short turnaround, Southeast Melbourne have come up to Brisbane and they have inflicted all kinds of pain on the Bullets.
Just gonna get it up here.
A dominant win for the Phoenix, who moved to 5-2 in this NBL 26 season, and they continue to establish their credentials as a title contender. They do it easily over the Bullets, 109 to 86. Another scorching display from downtown with 16 threes. Nathan Sobey, our Foot Locker player of the game, 29 points, 62 points across the course of the round. Another great performance from him in front of his former home crowd. Southeast win it 109 to 86. We'll break it all down on the other side of this.
Sponsored by Aroxa Mining. Before you head out tonight, don't forget there's a post-game signing session happening in the courtyard out the front. So grab your merch from the merch store on the way out to get signed. Meet the players and get all of those Bullets autographs. After tonight, our next post-game signing session will be on Thursday, the 20th of November. So make sure you're here for that one too. Post-game signing session in the courtyard. Corral the big Tyrell over to you, Nashi and Brooke.
Being joined now by Tyrell Harrison.
not the result we were looking for tonight. What things were said in the huddle just now? Yeah, it's pretty disappointing that we played tonight, especially after how we performed 2 days ago. So, you know, it's a fast, like games turn around fast in this league, so we've got to look our wounds and move on to the next one. Another slow start that you were able to, I guess, bridge that gap and take the lead. Surely there's some positives to take from that aspect. Yeah, definitely. There's definitely positives to take away, but there's just a lot of breakdowns that I guess we just need to look at ourselves individually and then as a team and then just...
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.
Nathan Sobey, the star of South East Melbourne, get a big win on the road, 109-86, their 5th win of the season. And they did it comfortably. He had 29 points, our Foot Locker player of the game, 62 across the course.